Welcome to the Supreme Lending Dallas Show, where you'll be introduced to different speakers on different topics, and you'll meet different guests for each of our episodes. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm Liz Evans, host of the Supreme Lending Dallas Show, and I'm so excited today to introduce our guest, and that is Loan Officer Kathy. Kathy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Kathy Hill, also known as Katharine Hill. I've been a loan officer in Dallas for 8 years, and I'm extremely passionate about what I do as a loan officer.
And I can attest to that. You are very passionate about what you do, Kathy. And one of the things Kathy's slogans is I close deals in hills. And I know Kathy, and all she does is dance, sleep, and sell mortgage loans. So Kathy, we'd like to get to know our guests on a personal level before getting into the business aspect of our show. Go ahead and tell us about the history behind your dance. That's the video that's up.
Yes, I am a beginner ballroom dancer. I've been doing it about a year and a half. COVID did intervene in some of that. But I started doing the ballroom dancing, and I found it's a great outlet to meet people, to get to know people, and to help bring out the passion that I have for the dance, which actually was instilled in me as a little child by my older brother. And what I have found is that my passion for dance is matched by my passion for being a loan officer. And the reason I love being a loan officer so much is that I get to help people. And that is my goal and my motto as a loan officer. What can I do to help you achieve your goal? What is it that you want to do? And I try to match that with the same passion that I have for dance.
Thank you, Kathy. And we have another photo of you. And what is this photo of?
Oh my goodness, that is my husband and I. We're at the Supreme Christmas party. It was a masquerade party, and it was so much fun. I love this company. If I were to consider myself an expertise in this company, I would not be doing them the justice that they deserve. And the reason for that is, if I don't know the answer to a question, I am surrounded by people at Supreme that know everything that we need to know about this industry. And it does change quite often and at a rapid pace. So being with Supreme allows me the departments, the people, the avenues to go to if you have a unique situation that we need to address.
And Kathy, we are a Supreme family, and we have the support behind us in our management team and our processing team, just in our whole Supreme Lending division. And I'm so glad you're a part of us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then this other photo that's come up is of you and your husband also at the Christmas party, correct?
Yes, it was a masquerade party, and so we were decked out in our costumes. The one thing that I loved, the one thing that got me when they were bringing up the idea of a masquerade party, everyone took it seriously. And when I got there, this was the first time that I'd seen a masquerade party really decked out to the nines. It was an absolute delight to see how many people took this ball so seriously, and to the lengths that Supreme went to make not only me feel comfortable, but to welcome my husband in like family.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Kathy. And we are a family, and we do want to welcome the spouses and the kids into this. And this is an event where the adults can get together in the evening after working hard all year round. And so this is one thing our regional branch manager, Corey Martella, puts on for his regions, is this elaborate, beautiful Christmas party.
I have been a loan officer in Dallas for 8 years. I was with another lender for 7 years. And Supreme had called me and asked me to come over for about 2 years. And I finally thought, I'm going to go visit Supreme, and I'm going to see, is it a move that's right for my customers and for me? After being with someone else for 7 years, it was something I had to seriously consider. And when I went over and I met everyone involved in person, I knew that the right move for my customers and then for me was to come to Supreme. I can't say enough good things about this company. I've never seen a company give dedication like they do to their employees and their customers. It's a great company. I love it.
Thank you, Kathy. And now we're going to go on and ask you some questions. And Kathy, I've heard you make this statement many times, and that is you like to think about putting yourself in a homebuyer's shoes. At the moment, you are speaking with them.
I bought my first home in Dallas when I was 20. That was a long time ago. I'm in my 60s now. And when I bought my first home, I really felt like I had no one that I could go to and say, but what about this item? I don't understand this. I felt helpless. I earned my real estate license in my 20s and now am on this side of the real estate transaction and the purchase process. And the good news and the bad news is things have changed since I was in my 20s. The good news is we can do everything electronically now. The bad news is I don't get to meet you face to face most of the time. And also there are some people that have challenges with electronic documents. I commit to those people that I will walk through every step of this with you and hold your hand and help this to be as pain-free for you as possible. And I commit to that.
And Kathy, there is something permanent and something extremely profound in owning a home. You close deals in hills by being completely honest and transparent with your clients. Go ahead and elaborate on that.
Well, you know, the adage of closing deals in hills, there are not as many female loan officers as there are males. Doesn't mean that we're not as capable, we are. But in this industry, we're just kind of a rarity. But the thing that I want to do is get in and identify with you. Is there one thing that we might have in common so that I could get to know you? I want to know your family. I want to know what helps you. I want to know what your goals are. I have some people that I've done 4 and 5 loans with. We're now into their children. And it's a blessing to be able to know that I'm in their portfolio with the doctor, with the banker, with an attorney. Once you've done one transaction on the mortgage loan process with a customer, it's a lot easier to do the second one. And I want to stay with my customers. I want to be a lender for life for them and their family and friends.
And Kathy, at this moment, we have a viewer asking a question, and that is, Kathy, we have a question. Do you consider yourself an industry expert?
I consider myself to be a very well-rounded loan officer. And as I mentioned previously, if I don't have the expertise in an area, I'm surrounded by people at Supreme who do know the answers. So it's simply just typing a question or looking at guidelines myself, which allows me an opportunity to answer your question. But I would tell you after 8 years and having been in real estate, I'm pretty good. To toot my own horn.
I love it, Kathy. Okay, and every client's needs are different. So how often do you stay in communication with your client?
Again, it has to go back with the knowledge of the customer, not only of just the purchasing or refinance process, but of the computer. My grandkids and my children have grown up with computers. I didn't. So I don't know as much about the electronic process as my children and younger people. So for me, it's really identifying that need. Do you need help with these electronic documents, or are you saying, hey, I've got this? And what I don't want to do is bother you at your office or home every 15, 20 minutes. But what I do is I keep in communication, and I'll say your file has now gone to processing. It might be a week or 2 before we get back with you. It doesn't mean that we're not working on your file. It means that we are working on your file. We're processing it. So I try to stay in communication with the borrower as they need, as they demand.
Okay, and we have another question from a viewer, and they're asking, how do you add value to your client?
Helping you achieve your goal. You have set out to buy a home on your own or with a co-borrower. And what we have to do before we even get in to what you're wanting on that home is to find out, what is your goal? Do you need down payment assistance? Do you have money that saved aside that I call the reserves? Is there something that we might need to look at on your credit that I could assist with? I'm not a credit counselor. Don't play one on TV. But we have tools that we can come in and give you some ideas and help you get your credit score up to get you a better interest rate. I'm not compensated as a loan officer by your interest rate, nor your term, 30, 20, 15 years, nor your type of loan, VA, FHA, conventional. So my goal is to get you the very best interest rate and the lowest payment possible to get you in that home, to claim that value of ownership. There's nothing like owning a home. There's nothing like it.
And Kathy, I think the audience and your clients can appreciate the value you have for them. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And as we come to the close of our episode today, we have another video of Kathy, and she is dancing. Tell us about this video, Kathy.
This is a waltz, and as I mentioned earlier, I'm a beginner dancer. This is the very first time I ever competed in waltz. I kind of like to think about waltzing across Texas, which is a real song, but when I first started doing dancing, my goal was to learn to waltz, and I didn't know my left foot from my right foot. So a year and a half later, I finally did my first competition, and it was a real blessing. It was a joy.
And this next photo, is this of the partner that you were dancing with?
It is. His name is Alex, and he is considerably younger than I, but he's very, very well versed. He's an expert in dance, and he's been able to teach me so many things about dance, and it's just a blessing. It's a joy. It really is.
And we have one more photo, and Kathy, this is an adorable photo. Tell us about this.
Well, I have done 3 competitions now, and the last competition that I did, we were in COVID, and we were doing a country and western theme. There is a lot of bling involved with ballroom dancing, so I had on my dress, and I also had on my mask and my cowboy hat, and it just so happened I've had that cowboy hat or cowgirl hat forever, and it was black and it had some bling and it matched my dress, and we just went out there and we just had a blast, but we were being COVID safe.
Kathy, thank you very much. And Kathy Hill, and I close deals in Hills.
Amen.
Have a blessed day. Thank you for joining us.